Yo, what is going on, you brick-shaped Bulbasaur? Battle Styles is here, and Bulu might not end up being the best deck to come out of Battle Styles. In fact, I would probably bet against it being the best deck to come out of Battle Styles. But out of the decks I did play for the first day of Battle Styles, Bulu is by far the most fun, and actually overall the probably the best deck that I had success with. But of course, there's a ton of work to do on other decks and make their lists better and so on. Maybe I just got lucky in getting a pretty good list for the Bulu deck already off the rip. So the point of this deck is to utilize Tapu Bulu with the Nature's Judgment, very similar to the attack from the old Bulu GX, Nature's Judgment. 80 damage plus 80 if we discard all Pokemon, or not discard all Pokemon, discard all energy from this Pokemon, which we may do. We don't have to discard all the energy. We'll sometimes get in situations where we can KO something smaller just for the 80 damage, and we don't discard our energy. We just leave them there. It specifically helps us play around them chasing our Cherrims, because if we have one Cherrim in play and no energy in play, they can chase our Cherrim, and then we can't attack next turn. And Cherrim is our main source of energy acceleration in this deck to set up our Bulus and our Zangoose, but I'll get into our Zangoose in just a second. With that Spring Bloom attached grass energy, as many grass energy as we want from our hand to one of our Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box. So can't use Pokemon V, can't use Pokemon GX, can't use Pokemon Prism or Prism Star Pokemon. So set up our Bulus, set up our Zangoose, and our Zangoose with that Brutal Edge Colors attack for 20 damage plus 10 more for each damage counter on our opponent's active Pokemon. It's kind of like a two-hit combo with our Tapu Bulu. So specifically, the combo that keeps coming up, or the situation that keeps coming up, is we hit in a turn to VMAX for 160 with Nature's Judgment for the Grass colorless, and then if we do another 160, there's only 320 damage, which doesn't quite 2-hit KO in a turn to VMAX, but Zangoose does 20 plus 10, which would be enough to 2-hit KO in a turn to VMAX. Or, you know, we can use Zangoose to 2-hit KO PikaRom or Mew and Mewtwo, anything like that. If we hit it and there's damage on it still, we can hit it again with Zangoose, clean it up, and it takes 2 energy, and it's just like another attacker in the deck, because with just 4 Bulu, we would definitely start to run out of attackers potentially. You could potentially play this with like just Bulu and then maybe Zigzagoon with Scoop Up Nets. That would also be a possibility for this deck, to be honest. I haven't given that a shot because like this is the initial way I tried it and it worked out so well. I shouldn't feel a need to really switch it up yet. So, and that's it. The rest of the engine in the deck is we play some amazing rare Jirachis. We are a single prize deck, so we get knocked out quite often, which means we want something to send up to be able to take advantage of, which is the Jirachi. We got a Mew in here, Tag Bolt, Rapid Strike, Urshifu, big threats in the sniping department, Cramorant even to chase our Cherrim could be really annoying. And that is the reason we played for Cherubi, because when we put our energy in play on the Tapu Bulu, we discard them to attack, which means if they go chase our only Cherrim in play, we can't attack next turn. But if we have a Cherrim and a Cherubi, if they chase the Cherrim, we can evolve the Cherubi to a Cherrim. Or if we have double Cherrim, they probably won't even go chase our Cherrim. So that's why we play such a heavy Cherrim count in the 4-3 Cherrim. And then Great Catcher 3 boss for our Gust effects. We play 2 Recycle Energy. And the reason we play the Recycle Energy is because we discard all energy on our Tapu Bulu and they go back to our hand. And both of our main attackers can utilize colorless energy. So it helps us like not run out of energy as quickly, because for turn we can attach recycles and we just need 2 grass from the Cherrim to attack and then repeat that, and it really helps us like keep up our energy and not run out of energy. So the 2 recycle energy have been super clutch. I was thinking about capture energy initially, but I think recycles are the way to go. They really help fill the spot of just not allowing us to run out of energy really great. We don't have to play anything like energy recycler or anything, I think, because we do play these recycle energy. We do have those 10 grass in there still, and 3 Training Court and 2 Ordinary Rod. But without the Recycle Energy, I think we would have to start playing something like Energy Recycler. So big fan of the Recycle Energy here for sure. 4 Marnie, 4 Professor's Research, and 4 Pokégear for our draw supporters. And then 2 Air Balloon in here, because we could hard retreat the Jirachi every single time, but it'd be not much better, and it is much nicer when we can just have it have free retreat through an Air Balloon. So we do play 2 Air Balloon, and who knows, sometimes a Cherrim could get boss up and stalled in the active, and we have Air Balloon for that potentially as well. And that is the Bulu deck. Let's get into some games. All right, here we go. Get into our first one. We are going first. Unfortunately, we don't like going first. I will open the Bulu. Bulu and Recycle Energy off the rip, though, is very nice. A couple Bulu, actually. I'm going to throw the other one down. I'm not going to put down the Zangoose yet, because that's a little bit more situational. I'll attach active. We're not attacking turn 2 with this setup. I'm not going to bench the Zangoose, though. It doesn't feel necessary to put down the Zangoose. Looks like we're up against LucMetal. I assume this is probably a bad matchup between the GX attack, Metal Goggles, and Resistance. We'll be doing minus 90 damage from our Nature's Judgment, that's a lot of minus damage. It's not a matchup I've played against, but I'm gonna go ahead and assume it's bad, but it doesn't mean we can't win. because something is a bad matchup doesn't mean we can't win. They're not resistant to the Zangoose. They're not resistant to the colors, so we can use Zangoose eventually, for sure. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, definitely probably a bad matchup. But let's go ahead and let's play it out. See if we can't get a dub. Even in bad matchups, you can sometimes walk away with a dub. You just play well, and maybe your opponent whistles a couple times. Okay, there's a Guru in play. That's already great to see, because that's a couple like easier prize cards for us to take now. The LucMetal, not resistance to grass. The Oranguru is a nice easy one prize card. So if we can just get to one Zacian, the LucMetal, and the Guru, that's all 6 of our prize cards. That's all we need to KO to win the game. Here comes a Zamazenta, which is definitely going to be a better attacker for my opponent overall, because it is it doesn't have to reset its attack like Brave Blade does. So they can just attack over and over and over with that assault tackle. So yeah, a little bit easier for my opponent to do. And they're actually going with an aggressive, I actually kind of like that, aggressive Full Metal Wall. Attach, bench the Goose, play the Marnie. Looking for a Cherrim, but actually even in this situation, we don't really need a Cherrim. We can attack next turn. Or Cherubi, my bad. No, we do get the Cherubi though, which is great. Bench Cherubi. I do have a couple quick balls here. I think I'm just going to hold them. I don't play any support Pokemon in terms of Crobat, Dedenne, Oricorio, Kricketune, anything like that, because I don't want to put a 2-price Pokemon in play at all if I can avoid it. There's a Marnie for my opponent, so helping us out here a little bit from our dead hand. Our hand was dead. Now it's not. Well, actually, it still could be. Let's take a look. All right, our hand's not dead anymore. That's great. Now, I don't know if I want to bench. I kind of want to keep the Bulu because we need a lot of Bulus, I think, in this situation, in the matchup we're up against. We're going to need a lot of Tapu Bulus. I think I'm probably discard the Jirachi. I do want to put a second Cherubi in play, because what can happen if we don't have a second Cherubi in play is we discard all of our energy, they KO our Cherrim, or only Cherubi in play, and then we can't attack again on the following turn. So I definitely want to get 2 Cherubi in play. We definitely want 2 Cherubi in play to make sure that they can't do that. We can keep attacking turn in and turn out as long as we see a draw support and some energy. We'll be able to continuously attack and go from there. They actually put a Crobat in play as well. Unfortunately, that's a card I've been looking for. I've been looking for a card that can one-hit KO Crobat, but I haven't been able to find it yet. Yeah, a card that can one-hit KO Crobat would be so good in this deck. I just haven't been able to find it. If I ever can find a good enough card to put in here to one-hit KO Crobat, I'll definitely add it. But so far, I have not been able to find a card that can do it. But being able to take advantage of Crobat would be great, because we can already KO Dedenne with the Nature's Judgment. Actually, the main reason we actually play the Great Catcher in here is because there's like Nature's Judgment plus Great Catcher. It's the knockout. Now I want to kind of bench the Jirachi, to be honest. Definitely attaching here. I can't bench both. Like, I have to bench a Cherubi. I guess if I get the evolution, I don't need to bench a Cherubi, to be honest. We do play Ordinary Rod, so we can get more Bulus back. Bulu is the main attacker, but being able to find more cards is always really good. Let's go like this. We do have 2 Ordinary Rods, so we should be able to have plenty of Bulus to close out the game. Okay. Put this in play. Going quick ball away this. Gonna grab another Cherubi, just in case, because I could go like attach Metal Saucer, switch, boss, KO my Cherrim. Can't let that be happening. Over the grass. I'm not gonna put them in play though, because it is actually very possible our opponent whiffs an attack here. It's very possible our opponent whiffs the knockout here, which means we need grass energy for our then active Bulu to be able to attack again. So if I put the energy here, then I might just whiff the attack next turn. So I'm just gonna hold the hand. Be like, all right, I'm fine to hold this hand, play for the potential that happens, right? Because it could happen, so may as well play for that. I don't feel like I can get too punished for playing for that, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. All right, here comes the Zamazenta. Once again, we're doing minus 60 damage to the Zamazenta and the Zacian. We're doing minus 60 to both of these Pokemon. Not good. But they have the Crobat, they have the Oranguru in play, which are Pokemon we don't do minus damage to. We actually can cleanly take knockouts on those without having to do that reduced damage. So we could do something actually where I go like, we could Psy Power with Mew to put 2 on the Crobat, and then we could Boss KO it with a Bulu, and then KO Guru, hopefully after knocking out this LucMetal. But it looks like they got the tag call, so that probably means a Mallow and Lana is on its way. Yep, there it is, and a Caitlyn and Cynthia to back it up. So that's what I was scared of. Yeah, we struggle with the healing from these what's it called decks, this tanky deck. That's what I thought we were going to struggle with. I haven't played this matchup yet. Like I said, I haven't played against this matchup yet, but this is what I expected to be kind of a struggle. We don't do a ton of damage, and our opponent also has Maolanus. They're actually going with the Bird Keeper here, so that'll keep the damage in play on the LucMetal, which is great for us. And we're going to try and take full advantage of that. We're going to try and probably boss KO this turn before they have a chance to Maolana it. And then, like I said, we do play 3 boss, and they're all left in the deck, so we could just go Mew, ping the Crobat, boss Oranguru, boss the Crobat. Actually, we could even Great Catcher KO the Lucario Melmetal. So we could go for that instead. We'll see what we draw, but that could actually be our plan. We'll see what we draw. We'll see how it goes, but that can be what we go for. Okay. So we'll start with that Dream Revelation. We find the Great Catcher, so we're definitely going to go with that. Play one of these first. Found a Marnie, so we're going to grab the Marnie. Great Catcher. I'm going to get rid of the Pokégear and a Recycle Energy. Bring it up. Go ahead with that Spring Bloom twice. And then we can hard retreat the Jirachi to move it. But we're going to go and play Marnie first because I could Training Court for an energy and hard retreat. And it looks like that is what we're going to have to do here to get this thing out of the active. Actually, could I have attacked with the... Actually, Brutal Edge would have worked. I definitely should have attacked with Zangoose and not the Bulu. That was actually a big mistake on my part. Regress Energy. I definitely should have attacked with the Zangoose instead. We're going to have limited opportunities to attack with Zangoose, whereas Bulu is going to be our main attacker for the most part. So definitely a big mistake on my part there. I'm not going to lie. That was a pretty big... Actually, no, I would have whiffed because it's minus 30, right? Actually, I would have whiffed a knockout. So no, I had to attack with Bulu here. All right, correct plays. Let's go. All right, got an Ordinary Rod, which is great because we do need to find some more Bulus. We need to recover some Bulus and then go find them. So this is that's a great pull there on the Ordinary Rod. Yeah, because I would have done 150 minus 30, 120. So we actually had to attack with a Bulu there, unfortunately. Would have been great if we could have attacked with Zangoose. Thankfully, I didn't just default go for it, thinking I could get the knockout. That's always that's good, I guess. Always do the math and then make sure, though. That's always the best way to do it, is to actually do the math and then make sure this will work or that won't work, or this is correct or that's not correct, based on, you know, what can actually happen. That's always the better way to go. Here comes the reset stamp. We lose the Ordinary Rod. Maybe we can find a Bulu. There's a Great Ball, which can find us a Bulu. We do have one Bulu left. And once again, like I said, we could try and just go boss and boss to try and close out this game. We actually want to like use Psy Power this turn if we can. Psy Power, set up damage on the Crobat, and then boss KO Crobat, boss KO Oranguru. Ooh, they're getting the replacement stadium here. That's rough. And we do have some time to do this. We have a couple turns to actually try and pull off that line of play that I want to do. Losing Training Court, of course, stinks. I mean, no draw supporter in the hand is actually a little bit worse than anything, but we have plenty of draw supporters left in the deck, so let's see if we can find one of those. Need to find the Ordinary Rod, cover the Bulu. But yeah, Mew would be a fine attacker here. Set up the Crobat, and then I don't know where the other 10 damage would go, to be honest. It doesn't really matter, probably. I could put on the Jirachi, and I guess and then maybe I could ping it twice more with the Mew, possibly. I doubt that would happen, but you never really know. Maybe I could trap something in the active. Draw into a Pokégear. All right, so we're going to go with the Great Ball first. No great hits here, to be honest. Nothing great. I'm just going to go ahead and take the other Jirachi, because if I just was to discard a card, I think I'd rather most likely want to discard the Jirachi. And we're going to go ahead and Dream Revelation. I want the Grass Energy in the deck, to be honest. So I'm going to grab the Cherrim here. Play the Pokégear. Hope for... There we go. Perfect. A Research. Play the Research. Let's draw some new cards. Hopefully enough to do something reasonable this turn. Nothing great yet. Great Ball, can that find us a Mew? No Mew. So the question is, what do I do this turn? I really don't want to use a Bulu into a Zamazenta, because it's kind of pointless, to be honest. I don't want to lose my Jirachi, but I don't know if I want to use an energy to save the Jirachi. I think I'm fine to bench the Bulu, maybe to bait my opponent to actually boss it up, because I think our game plan really is to Mew as soon as possible. I could actually bench Cherubi and retreat into that. We do have to get the Mew off next turn. We have to attack with Mew next turn, and Mew ping the Crobat. I mean, I guess I could ping the Oranguru, and then we have to go boss knockout with Bulu into boss knockout with Bulu. And we do have 2 boss left. Like, the game plan is possible. There's 2 boss left. I don't actually know if the Mew is in the deck, to be honest. I don't actually know if it's there. So we're hoping Mew is in the deck. And then, yeah, Mew ping, set some stuff up. Boss, knockout. Boss, knockout. Go from there. Hopefully that works out. Opponents thinning out their deck pretty aggressively, though. They're going to have a lot of whatever options they want. They can always also Mal and Lana heal the Crobat. That is possible. So we're just going to have to hope they don't get that line of play when when we do make the Mew play happen, which we have to make the Mew play happen next turn, actually, because Zamazenta's swinging through. They're going to go down to 3 prize cards next turn. Mew has to do the Mew play. Then they go down to 2 prize cards, and then that's why we have to go boss, knockout, and win just before my opponent can possibly win the game. All right, let's see if we can get it working. See if we can get it going. Go Jirachi. We're going to need another Bulu as well, actually. Training Court is a great hit. I'm going to throw down this Bulu. Bring Bloom to it, and then Marnie. Quick Ball. So we can get Mew. We got the Recycle Energy, and we can retreat with an energy with Training Court. So I'm gonna go. I'll play a Great Ball. Grab the Mew. Okay. We have a boss in hand as well. I need to save a Great Ball or a Quick Ball to grab another Bulu eventually. So we're gonna go with this. Dreamy Revelation. Grab the Research. I don't know. We could grab the Poke. And then I think I actually want to shuffle the top deck here, to be honest. So I'm a Great Ball. I don't want that to be my top deck. Okay. Go Mew. Attach. Bring Bloom. Treat. Side Power. 1, 2. I mean, I could just throw them all in the Crobat, I guess. I don't know. Just throw them all in the Crobat. I don't got a really better plan. So there we go. Side Power on the Crobat. We still need a lot, though. We still need a lot. I'm not going to lie to you guys. We still need a lot to get this thing working. Hopefully our opponent just knocks out our active. That would be great. We have the boss set up, knockout on the Crobat. But then the next turn, we need a boss KO on the Oranguru, which, to be honest, with the way things are looking, looks almost impossible. We'll get 2 prize cards to work with, of course, off the Crobat knockout. So that could be a game changer for sure. We know the other boss is in the deck. We need to get access to a Bulu. There's a Fion, but if they Fion here, I'm just going to send up the Zangoose, so that's not really that big of a deal. Yeah, we just like push Zangoose up. Yeah, we know the other boss is in the deck. Okay, they're just going for the tackle. That's fine. These would be, yeah. Recycle back. Okay, go Bulu. We need an Ordinary Rod ASAP. That's not an Ordinary Rod. All right, Training Court. Getting extra energy to work with, though, is good. I don't have any Bulu left. Okay, here we go. I don't know if it's actually possible to win. I guess it depends a lot on our prize cards. Boss up the Crobat. Nature's Judgment. Yes. Knock out the Crobat. See, here's where it would be really great if we had like some card that could snipe. Like, so like Cramorant theoretically would be great in this deck if we could Cherrim to it, but we can't. Training Court and Grass Energy. Okay, so we have the energy we need. We have Quick Ball that can find a Bulu. And we can retreat the Jirachi with Training Court. So we have to top deck Boss or Ordinary Rod, and then Jirachi into Boss or Ordinary Rod, and then we have it. And that's it. We have game. Let's see if we can get it. We have the switch card because we can just hard retreat the Jirachi. Now we need Boss and Ordinary Rod because we don't have a Bulu left in the deck, unfortunately. They're all in the discard pile. We've made it this far against what seems to be a terrible matchup, but there's a reset stamp to 1. So now I think it is actually going to be impossible. We found the Ordinary Rod. Now I think it's going to be pretty much impossible. Even with a Marnie, we maybe could have pulled it off with a Marnie, although I think that still would have been tough because our hand was pretty good for the situation. I guess it wasn't perfect. Yeah, maybe a Marnie wouldn't have been that bad, to be honest, for us. But I think reset stamp is going to definitely put us out of range here as our opponent cleans up our Tapu Bulu. I'll set up Jirachi. I don't think there's an out. The only thing I see is if we grab a boss right now. Okay, we have boss right now. We can actually boss up the Guru. Maybe it gets stuck. I mean, they're down only 1 switch, but, you know, sometimes lucky, I guess. What do we have in here? We go ahead and do this and recover just 2 Pokemon, I think. Just 2 Bulus. We want to try and top deck a Bulu. Training Court. Grab one of these energies. Go ahead and pass. Yeah, maybe the Guru gets stuck for a turn. This is the only line of play we have now. There's an Air Balloon right off the bat, though. And here comes the Assault Tackle. We got it close. For how bad of a matchup this? We got it pretty close. That reset stamp at the end kind of killed us. So if they didn't have that, who knows? Maybe we'd be able to pull it off. But not happening this time. We take an L in this first one to the LucMetal. All right, here we go again. Getting into another one. Our opponent's going first, which is good for us because we do want to go second. And we have a pretty good, yeah, kind of crazy start here. I'm not going to bench anything, though, because of Escape Rope. That's like now the card to play around in these opening hands is Escape Rope. We are up against, it looks like PikaRom. Now that we're drawing a mulligan, though, I kind of want to bench stuff down, to be honest. Because I got a reset stamp, and they maybe want a Crobat. They probably want to disrupt us. Even put the Mew down. I'm even down to put the Mew down, because we do play, usually I don't like putting Mew down against PikaRom until I think they're about to Tag Bolt, or until they set up to Tag Bolt, because then they can like chase it earlier. Like with the full blitz that they used to set up the Tag Bolt, they could chase the Mew, which I don't want to give them that option. But we do play 2 Ordinary Rod, so I'm not really as worried about that. Like if they KO it, we can kind of just recover it, and then that'll just be fine. But yeah, it looks like it is PikaRom here. I haven't played against PikaRom, but I would imagine it's similar to any other big tag team type deck. Oh, maybe it's actually Welder Mewtwo or PikaRom Mewtwo. Why did I think it was PikaRom? Did I see like Lightning Energy in the mulligan or something? Yeah, so it is like Mewtwo, the Aurora Energy Mewtwo deck. There goes the Vileplume. Did I change? And let's see what else they find. There's not much else they can do this turn, to be honest. Almost no reason to have really done the Did I change, to be honest, because like they really can't find much else to put out this turn. So yeah, maybe a little bit of voice from my opponent. Now the question for me is, do I want to research or do I want a Marnie? And I kind of want a Marnie because I kind of want to save draw supporters. Draw supporters are super important to just have around constantly with this deck. So putting the research back in the deck feels like it's a little bit more advantageous overall. Especially because the game's probably going to be a little bit slow to start with, because our opponent probably has to go into the Electrify on the next turn. They might be able to get out turn 2 full blitz, or they could even actually go for that massive bloom if they wanted to into full blitz. That would probably that's probably going to be the route they go for, actually, unless they whiff the Aurora Energy, which is pretty unlikely. It's pretty unlikely that they would whiff that Aurora Energy, so that's probably going to be my opponent's game plan here, is just like Vileplume, knock out whatever my active is, going into a full blitz on the following turn. So I really just want to find like another Cherubi. So I might just go with the research. We might just go ahead and throw Training Court in play and then go with a research actually instead here. Once again, it'll kind of depend on what my opponent does. But depending on what they do, that looks like it's going to be what we do here. Here's the PikaRom grab. So yeah, is that Aurora Energy PikaRom deck. There's Cherrim top deck now though, so now I kind of want to. Now I'm like a little bit more tempted to Marnie. And nah, let's go with the research. Let's draw some more cards. Let's get a little bit more aggressive. All right. Revelation first. Grab the quick ball because we definitely want to get another Cherubi into play. And what will we quick ball away though is the question. I can quick ball away the grass actually, and then use Training Court. And I'm saving the Great Ball here because I want to be able to Great Ball for that Cherrim on the next turn. So attach to Bulu. We don't want to bench the second Jirachi yet, but I will bench the second Bulu, I think. Yeah, there's no reason not to. And then go ahead and pass. Yeah, I think research there was. I'm still a little bit like undecided on if I really wanted to research there or if I should have gone with the Marnie. But I think being a little bit more aggressive, trying to find those extra cards to make that much bigger of a difference potentially on our first turn is probably worth it. I wasn't like too attached to any of those cards in the hand, to be honest, so probably worth it. And there's the Aurora Energy, so my opponent does have that turn 2 attack with that massive bloom, and then they'll have the follow up with the full blitz. So that's definitely going to be their route here. I don't see them really taking any other route. So our goal is to just draw 2 energy off this Marnie on our turn and get our first attack in and start going from there. That's going to be our goal, is just 2 energy off the Marnie, flash top deck. The top deck could also give us something as far as energy goes. We could hopefully get a recycle, but 2 grass, I would settle for just double grass. And then the follow-up attack on the Mewtwo can get a little bit easier because we can use Zangoose from there. We also need to actually get a Cherrim. Maybe I was playing like the Great Balls and give us Cherrim. But here's a Marnie from our opponent, which overall is pretty helpful. We lose the Great Ball, but our hand didn't have any energy in it anyways. And now we draw into... Oh, we're a little bit reliant on this Pokégear, but it's not that bad, I don't think. Yeah, we do have to hope this Pokégear does get us. We need research, ideally research, to be honest. Ideally research. There's the Massive Bloom. Goodbye, Jirachi. I think I'm gonna send up the Mew and Air Balloon it. The top deck gives us the Zangoose, Pokégear. There's the research. Okay. So Air Balloon, Zangoose, research. We need energy, but no Cherrim yet. We have a Great Ball. Question is, do I want to Ordinary Rod first to increase my chances of finding that Cherrim? Which I think the answer is yes. So let's go with Ordinary Rod, but just grab the Cherrim. And I haven't used Training Court yet, so I could quick ball away a grass, grab Jirachi, hopefully get that Cherrim. There we go, got the Cherrim, so we're in business. We can attack this turn, which is all we really wanted to be able to do. Evolve. Don't have any draw support for the next turn, but we'll worry about that on the next turn. For this turn, we got everything we needed. We got the attack, and we're good to go. Nature Judgment, yes. And who knows, maybe our opponent Marnies us or something like that, and then we can work with those cards. Excuse me. Yeah, maybe our opponent Marnies us, we have those cards to work with, and then we're in that good of a spot, right? That much better of a spot. So we'll see. We'll see what our opponent has. And if they maybe help us out a little bit, I'm sure they're going to full blitz this turn with the PikaRom. At the very least, that's probably their game plan. And we don't actually need, in our current situation, actually, if they only KO our active here, we do have that Training Court. We've got the Recycle Energy, so we can just go Training Court Energy attached to Zangoose. Brutal Edge for the 2-hit KO here. So we are set up to actually KO this next turn. If nothing changes, if they just knock out our active and they don't do that much else, we actually have the knockout on the Mewtwo. But we'll see if anything, let's see if they have any other plans. Because, yeah, a bunch of other things could happen that would make it a lot more awkward for us to do what we want to do, But if nothing else really drastically changes, they just knock out our active and the Training Court sticks. I'm sure they play a Chaotic Swell, at least one, but probably just one, which is definitely works in our favor because they only play one, so it's gonna be that much harder to find. They probably play like one Chaotic Swell, so if they just can't find that, that's also a big plus for us. Another Mewtwo, so they're setting up for a target to full blitz 2 here. Yeah, do they have... What else do they have to work with is the question for sure. Okay, got the energy. Taking full blitz. Another big charm to the other Mewtwo. Sure, why not? What is left in the 3-card hand? Okay, here's an Eldegoss. Uh-oh. Oh, I was so scared of them grabbing Boss there. They grabbed the Marnie, which is actually perfect for us. We do lose the Recycle Energy, but we really needed some more stuff to work with there to keep going in this game. So I'm super happy they hit up that Marnie. And hey, there we go. Look at that. A Cherrim, another Bulu, an Energy, a Research. Literally, I mean, it doesn't get... I couldn't ask for a better 4 cards, really. I mean, I could theoretically, maybe there would be something a little bit better. A Recycle Energy, the second Recycle Energy would maybe be better than this Grass Energy, but I'm not getting picky in this kind of situation at all. There's the full blitz. That's fine. Our hand is so ridiculously good right now. Should be easily able to keep up with our opponent from here now, I'm feeling. Of course, I guess I could draw another one of those hands where I'm just like, I don't know. But yeah, let's go push up the Mew. Off to the Cherrim. Ooh, top deck or Great Catcher. Okay, so that's not ideal. Not gonna lie. Top deck and Great Catcher is not great. We'd love to have that later. Have that in the deck for later in the game, but I guess we'll have to settle for losing it here. Not a ton of energy, but we have just enough, and that's all we need. We need just enough here to get this knockout. We'll worry about more energy on the next turn. And who knows? The prize cards, we're getting 3 prize cards here, so who knows what these could bring for us. That's not energy. That's an energy, and that is an energy. All right, so yeah, a couple energy to work with. Now, our hand is really big, so I'm sure my opponent's looking at Stamp or Marnie to go ahead and reduce our hand size here for sure. I'm sure they don't want to leave me with a, 3, 6, 10 card hand, so I'm sure... Whoa, what a hand of Pokemon. Was that literally all Pokemon? Did it change? I think a Switch was in there as well, right? That was insane. Yeah, I'm sure my opponent's definitely looking at wanting to use a Marnie here for sure. Marnie. Or even if they found the reset stamp, they might play it, but I'm sure they wouldn't mind holding that for a little bit later. So we'll see if they can come into either of those cards. If they can't, that is great for us. We'll just in a great spot to hopefully be able to close this one out. Yeah, we'll see what they can put together on this turn. Yeah, we're hoping they don't. We're hoping they don't have that that Marnie or that reset stamp. Ooh, abusing my training court. Okay, all right, love to see it. Yeah, we're really hoping they don't have that that Marnie here. We get to put this hand to use. They can play down a lot of it. You get these grass energy in play. The Great, I might even just spam the Great Balls, bench the Jirachi, just because we have like a backup attacker in play already. And we just need to KO this to win the game. We're not going to look like they're probably going to full blitz to the Bolton or like pop Cocoa Prism onto the Bolton and try and attack with Bolton on the following turn after I hit their Mewtwo. Or maybe even try and attack with Bolton this turn possibly. They could try and do that. I think they haven't attached yet, so they could attack with Bolton this turn. If they do attack with Bolton this turn, I think we're maybe forced in a spot where we have to try and go through the Bolton. We could go with, we have a boss in hand right now, so we could just actually boss the Mewtwo, punch it, and then try and boss it again on the following turn and knock it out with Zangoose. We do have that second Zangoose in the deck, or we could just use another Bulu. We don't have to use a Zangoose. Zangoose is a little bit more efficient with just the 2 energy cost, and that's why I was saying like losing our Great Catcher is a pretty big deal, because now we can't like research, and we can't like use research and then find Great Catcher and then like bring up the Mewtwo and knock it out or something like that. We have to go with that boss into boss, which is a little bit, or quite a bit, actually quite a bit less efficient. So yeah, and there's the switch. They get the Bolton attack. We also 2-hit KO Bolton and then go chase it to Dene. But I think hit Mewtwo is just going to be the better line overall. We could just try and go through the Bolton as well, though. We could just go hit Bolton. We go hit Bolton. They drop one more prize card down to 2. We go KO Bolton, then we go boss KO to Dene. But at that point, they could stamp us to 1, which I really don't like the idea of having to play against. I don't really like the idea of having to play against a stamp to 1. That feels like it puts us in a really bad spot. Maybe if we had the Great Catcher left, I would be a little bit more comfortable with playing into it against a stamp to 1. But otherwise, I don't like it. I'm going to throw this down. I'm going to play this. Grab a grass energy. The thing is, I don't have energy in the hand, though, so I can't really chase the Mewtwo. So maybe we do have to play up against that stamp to 1. I feel so bad, though. I feel so bad to play against the stamp to 1. I could just chill for a turn and, like, stockpile energy. That's also a thought I have right now. I could just chill for a turn. But that feels like it gets riskier and riskier the more I do that. Man, I'm kind of torn on the route I want to take here. Bulu, we can hit the Bolton. Then they knock us out with Bolton. Then we knock out the Bolton, go down to 1 prize card. I guess we can Marnie them on that turn. And then look for the boss KO on the Dene on the following turn. I don't like any of it. Play Great Ball. Our boss is in the deck. We see some energy. We know that we have the Training Court, but Training Court's not going to matter if they do have a Stadium Bump, because it's probably going to be Chaotic Swell. I don't love our situation here with the Great Catcher gone. Basically, with the Great Catcher gone is what I dislike the most. Oh, man. All right. How many Marnie do I have left? Quite a few. Okay. Let's load up the Bulu. Did I already use my Training Court? I did already use my Training Court. I shouldn't have done that. I guess we're just gonna hit the Bolton. I think we're just gonna hit the Bolton here. I'm gonna go ahead and use this right now. If I can find a Pokemon I don't want in there, throw it back. I would have. Yeah, but I think we're just gonna go ahead and hit the Bolton. I'm going back and forth, and I think the end result here is hit Bolton every time when I think about it. So I'm gonna attach that there, treat, and go ahead and Nature's Judgment. I don't want to put this energy in play. Actually, we don't have to discard the energy here, so I'm just going to go ahead and say no to that. I'm just going to hit, because otherwise I would give him like an opportunity to boss around my Tapu Bulu, which I don't want. Yeah, I don't want him to be able to boss around my Tapu Bulu, so we're just going to go ahead and leave it in the active there. I shouldn't have used the Training Court yet, though, because then I could have had the Recycle Energy on the active, and then maybe I would have put one of the Grass Energy here. And it's just more energy efficient, so it definitely messed that up, not gonna lie. But yeah, this is like, if I discard the energy here, then it's like more likely my opponent might want to do some kind of boss play, boss KO maybe set up for tag ball, something like that. We don't want to give them that option, so play it like this. Next turn we'll discard knockout, and then we have to look for another Bulu. to go for the knockout on one of these Dedenes. That has to be our game plan now at this point, is knock out Dedenne to win the game. Once again, our Great Catcher is gone, which really stinks for this kind of scenario, because our Great Catcher is like our like really good way to like close out games against all these Dedenes on our opponent's board. That's what we want to use. That's what we want to do. It's just Great Catcher, KO Dedenne. I mean, we're going to hit him with a Marnie. Hope they can't find that reset stamp to 1. They only have 1 reset stamp left, so they might just whiff it, right? They aren't guaranteed it, but good chance that they can find it. There's the chase on my Mew, but in this scenario, actually, they can't tag ball next turn unless they play Energy Switch. If they do play Energy Switch, they can tag ball next turn. So I guess maybe they play Energy Switch. I guess we're gonna find out. Now I'm gonna Spring Bloom. I'm gonna put a bunch of energy in play on this Bulu. Get this one set up, ready to go. I don't want a Marnie because I have the boss in hand already, but the way they played that almost makes you think maybe they have. But if they had the E-Switch in hand, they would have played it last turn, right? So I almost just want to swing. I think I am gonna Marnie here. We have quite a few outs to, and we actually got the out to the Mew here, which is exactly what we wanted. Quite a few outs to the boss is what we have. Grab this energy. Go ahead and use this and just recover. Use this. Just recover the Pokemon. I think we're only going to grab Mew here. Yeah. We're going to quick ball the Training Court because it's kind of pointless at this point to keep the Training Court around. I actually probably should have Great Balled first to try and thin out one of those cards. So we have a lot of outs to boss in the deck. We'll go ahead and Great Ball as well. Thin out. I mean, I don't think it really makes a difference here what I grab. Let's grab Zangoose. Stab the option of a Zangoose. Okay, here we go. Nature's Judgment. Yes, we will discard the energy. Got a shot here. We get 2 prize cards to work with as well. I could have actually put this energy on Jirachi, to be honest, because then we could just retreat. That would just be our pivot for Jirachi, and we get 2 grass out of our prize cards. But we're all coming down to, can we find one of those 2 boss off our top deck plus the Dreamy Revelation as of right now? So, I mean, they still have a couple plays that they could make that would make things really awkward for us. Reset Stamp to 1 would be really awkward. Reset Stamp plus boss KO our Tapu Bulu would probably lose us the game. So let's see if they can find that combo. That combo is like the 2 cards that would like kill us right here. If they just have boss KO this or just Reset Stamp, we can kind of survive through either of those plays. We can't survive through the boss plus stamp, but there's the research, so that's not boss. So they're not going to boss up my Bulu this turn. So even if they get the reset stamp, if we can just find the boss, we will win the game. The other thing they could do is replace the stadium, stamp us to 1, and then if we don't draw the boss off that 1 card, then we kind of want to send up the Jirachi. But that 1 card could also be an energy, which gives us the pivot to work with off the Jirachi, so that would be fine as well. A lot of things going on here. And yeah, I think it was probably correct to grab the Mew because you never know if they have the energy switch or not. There's the stamp to 1. All right, here we go. Do we find a boss? The answer is Zangoose. Training Court is still in play, though, so we should be able to send up Jirachi just fine here. As long as they don't have a bump for the Training Court. And they don't. Okay. So Training Court sticks, which means we can send up Jirachi. We know we can move it through the Training Court, the energy we get off the Training Court. I probably should have put that energy from hand on the Jirachi on the previous turn, like I mentioned. Probably should have done that. All right, so go Jirachi. Top deck is Cherrim. Here we go. Do we find a boss? No. Double energy. And we're going to take another loss here. It was a close one. Once again, kind of similar scenario. We need the boss. I guess the last game we weren't ever winning. Almost got him. We had a decent amount of outs left. We had like, what, 3 Pokégear, 2 boss. It was only a 16-card deck. We were seeing 4 cards. Does not work out in the end, and we end up taking another loss, unfortunately. That's gonna do it for these games with the Bulu deck. Like I said, had a ton of fun with it. It feels like the list that I got most refined in the time that I played with Battle Styles so far. So it's the first deck that I wanted to show to you guys. Obviously, it's not a new broken BDIF or anything, but it's a ton of fun, and it's something different to mess around with. So I encourage you guys to check it out, play some games with it. I'll see you tomorrow.